You are listening to the WYRD Mountain Gals Show. Prepare yourself.
Well, it's
Oh
in
boy,
progress.
this meeting's being recorded.
Mm-hmm. It's going to be recorded with one face, probably. Although who knows? It may send me the whatever, and it's got my face in it. If so, whatever. If not, whatever. Whatever is just the theme of it. How you doing today?
I'm really good. I'm not going to ask how you are because I think I know. Technology sucks.
It does. It's crazy making. I mean, it is. Mm-mm-mm.
You still trying to work with AI?
Yeah. Can you tell?
That's what I'm assuming is making you crazy.
It is, and it's like, okay, is it going to be a tool for me or not?
Yeah.
And it needs to be because that's how you get along in the world now. But we'll see. Okay, I feel much calmer. I took a nice long drink of my water.
Good. I got my
Hiccuped.
water. Got my water right over here. We'll see how far it goes before I have to go get some more.
Oh yeah. Well, so how's your week been, Miss Byron?
Yesterday was just such a lovely day. It really was.
Oh,
I got our project off the ground finally,
you sure did.
and I gave myself plenty of time to get that done because it was a lot at the post office. So, and it didn't take long. The good fellow at the post office, Mr. Jose, was super fast and friendly and fun. So
Hmm.
it just put me in such a nice place. And then I got my car gassed up. So got plenty of gas for this week for running around. And then
Nice.
had some really good tarot clients. Had enough time that I went by the store and got some good chocolate for the girls at work. And
Oh,
then had good tarot clients and it was just all good. Yeah, I
that's the way
love
to do
having
it.
days like that.
You deserve them every now and then, don't you think?
Well, I think I deserve them all the time, but I'm glad to have them every now and then.
Yeah, me too. Me too. And there are days like that. Today wasn't one of them for me, but there are some days.
No.
Although it hadn't been awful. I mean, the AI stuff is starting to work to my brain a little bit, but the rest of the day has been fine. The weather is beautiful. I'm
Hmm.
sitting outside on the back deck in front of two big old tomato plants. So if
Oh.
my video ever comes back, you'll get to see it. Part of the problem is I can't see because of the way the sun is right now. And
Oh,
the
because you're
screen.
outside.
Mhm. Yeah, and there should be an answer to that. That is not a screen that will burn out your eyes. There should be an
Yeah,
answer, but I don't
there
know.
there should be, and I don't know what it is.
So how's it going over at the temple?
Oh, golly, it is going so well. And today was a very good day too, but it was a funny day. So we had, Wednesday is our day to run errands. We go to a couple grocery stores and blah blah blah. And so
Mhm.
I had said I would go over. I picked up the food that was at Raven and Crone that for our food pantry, and I
Right.
had said I'll come over once I finish with my errands and just drop that off. That's all I intended to do. And I thought, oh, I'll just be a few minutes. Well, I get there, and my cousin is there, and she has brought us some food because she is a wonderful human being. And then she and I got to catch up on all the family gossip, and that took a while. Then
It's good.
I came in, and our super Rogeria was there, and I've not seen her in so long. So hanging out with her and explaining, we had a kind of an interesting mix up with our landlord, who I called yesterday because there was a leak in a pipe, and the plumber was already there. And
Right.
he said, well, you gotta call the landlord and let them know so they can do a work order so that I can come in and fix it. But I'm gonna make a picture of it so that they can see what it looks like. It's not a big deal, no problem, no big deal. So I called the landlord And I
Mhm.
talked to somebody that I don't normally talk to there because they got a big staff. And this woman said, "Well, I sent you an email this morning." And I said, "Oh, did you? What about?" And she said, "Well, are you planning are you planning to take that paint down and back to primer before you move out?" And I said, well, yeah,
Move
that was the
out.
understanding I have with Brittany that, ultimately when we go, we will take it
Oh,
back to a
okay.
neutral. And she said, "Well, but aren't you going now?" And I went, no.
Mhm.
And she said, "Oh, well, it was just long and involved and very complicated." And it ended up with her saying, "Now, is your name?" And she called a name. I said, "No, ma'am, I am Byron Ballard with Mother Grove." And she went, "Oh gosh, it is just a very Monday of a Monday, isn't it? No, this is not for you. This is not about you. This is not." And I was like, "Oh, good, because we're not leaving anytime soon." And she said, "Oh no, well, we hope you won't do that." Anyway, it was very silly and confusing. So I had to tell our super, if you hear anything crazy from the landlord, that's what this is all about. So that and then once I'd gotten that old story out and gotten all the food out of the back of my car, then one of our really good, stout, wonderful volunteers showed up with some food. So we got three deliveries of food today, and
Mm.
she's just a sweetie, and so there's a lot of talking then too. So a lot of talking, and then I got to go to Lowe's.
Oh, wow.
Mm. And I got some kills and some paint, and yeah.
Kills worse, but boy, it stinks.
It does, and I'm gonna do the stuff that has to be hit with the kills right before I'm about to leave on Friday,
Mm.
and then we'll just leave the AC on and all of that all weekend long. Yep, it
Yep.
is stinky. It is a stink, but we kind of need it.
Yeah, you do. And it's always been a little that way down there in that part of that
Yes,
building, hadn't it?
it has, and it's because I say it's because the French drains are old, and I bet they haven't been cleaned out in half a century. And so it floods. The ours, I think, is the only unit that it floods a couple times a year.
Oh,
So
I didn't
yeah,
realize that.
yeah.
Hmm.
And so we got the technique down. The landlord, we just have to call them, and they come in with the big old shop vacs and the big fans and all that. And within about 24, 36 hours, it's good.
Mm, okay. Well,
They
as long
just
as you're ready for it.
well, we've been in that place for 15, 16 years, so I guess we're as
Well,
ready as we're ever gonna be.
do you happen to remember what was there before y'all were?
Yes, I do. It was the purple pages.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Neat. Very neat.
and we were
Well,
across the hall.
it's okay. Well, it's interesting to me how that place has grown on me. I mean, it's just, a place, but I like it. There's something about it. It
Well,
feels, I don't know, feels good.
it's a place that a lot of people who are in the sort of holistic professions, there's therapists and massage therapists and tattoo people, and that's kind of who everybody is. And so, we it is a nice feel in there, I think.
Yeah, it's just a little artsy, hippie kind of vibe in the building. But, I always remember the past from that building because it's got one.
Yeah. Oh boy, does it.
It does. And you can occasionally hear them running up and down the hall and laughing
Well,
on the stairway and all of
and
that.
let's just be honest, in Asheville, North Carolina, if there's a building that's more than 10 years old, it's got to pass.
Oh, yeah. The entire dang town is haunted practically. Honestly, it
Mm-hmm.
is. But that place has a real kind of a, I don't know, it's a visual place, I guess is what I mean. I don't often have visual things that happen to me along those lines, but I have
Mm-hmm.
had at that place I have had.
Yeah.
And and it's just been an auditory kind
Mm-hmm.
of things that have happened there. At that place I have had. So
Yep. Yep.
yeah, and I remember my friend who had the ghost the ghost tours, we
Mm.
occasionally would talk about that building, you know. I don't know.
Well, it was funny. I don't think you were there the year that I did ghost stories as a fundraiser for the temple. And we turned the lights down low and I told the ghost
Ooh,
story. And and I bet we had 15, 20 people in there and they'd all had paid. I can't remember how much they paid. It was a nice little fundraiser actually. Um, but most of them didn't understand that, yes, the building is in fact haunted. I'm just telling you ghost stories, but you just step outside and you'll
and
know.
listen. Yeah, just
Yeah.
listen. Just feel what's going on if you can.
At the end of the ghost story thing, um, I told them that, and I said, and they were scared. A lot of them were
Oh
like,
wow.
"What? Oh no! Somebody walked me out of this building in my car." Okay, so you like the idea of
Yeah.
ghost stories, but you don't like the idea of ghosts. I get it.
Yeah, and it's interesting because one of them is real and one of them is a story.
Right.
So, but whatever. People don't
And
have
that
to make
doesn't,
any sense.
no, and that doesn't mean that the story isn't real because those stories that I told are all stories of hauntings that I know,
I'm sure.
but
Do you ever get
still,
the feeling that you just seen too much of that stuff? Does that ever come over you every now and then?
no, not really. I mean, I don't know. The the spirit folk that I work with and have worked with for I don't even know decades. They don't scare me nearly as much as politicians do, and that's just the
Okay.
truth of it.
Well, that just means you're smart. That's all.
It just means I know who can do real damage and who doesn't.
Don't talk about damage. Damage has already been done, in my opinion, but and yours too. And I
Yep.
don't even want to get there. I don't want to go there.
No, we're not going to do that this week. We're going to talk about
That's
that
right.
the equinox is coming, and
Yeah. Aren't you
oh,
looking forward to it?
I am. I
I
so
love it.
am. And I've been, with all of the mess and social media and the news right now, I decided yesterday that I was going to read from my book, Seasons of a Magical Life,
Right.
and
How'd
just
that go?
remind you, it went really well. So far, about 1,500 views.
Okay.
So people have seen it. And I'm just going to do that every evening until the equinox and just read gently to people. And I think that'll be good. And I think
How nice.
it'll let them relax a little bit because it's so easy to get all head up.
I, I wish we could find a way to record it and get it on YouTube, and I'll send it out everywhere. But that'll be for another week. There's a lot of stuff going on now with that stuff. I'm
Well,
yeah.
and we are coming up on the anniversary of Helene,
I know. I'm
and
I'm
that has hit me so hard.
I'm I'm just I don't know what to say because there's this part of me every evening I sit down, I have supper with mom, and we watch the local news. Every evening it's another story, usually about a brewery that overcame the odds after
Oh
Helene.
yes,
Uh, or something
or
similar.
some group of artists who are not even from here
Right.
who
And
somehow managed to. And are they talking about the people in Swannanoa that still ain't got a damn place to live? No,
no, that's not even being mentioned.
no.
But it's turned into it's this maudlin kind of, I don't know, kind of emotional grist factory,
Yes.
or grift, I should say. And it's like, well, we could be listening to political news, so it's not as bad as it could be. But
True. That's true.
yeah, because I mean, that's pretty grim. And here it is still the most beautiful evening so far this season. It's
Yeah, just
gorgeous out
lovely.
here. Yep.
Lovely.
Perfect humidity because it rained yesterday unexpectedly. And it's just
Yes.
cool and clear and nice. Very nice.
And I'm gonna get out tomorrow and plant some onions and
Me
some
too.
radishes.
We're the same. We are the same. It's time to
Yeah,
do it too. Yeah. So
warm and wet.
yeah, and the right moon. And it's been fun to learn this, but it's also I'm ready to be done. I'm in the trudging part of it where it's like, okay, now I have to get the details. I got the big picture concept. Now I have to remember the boring stuff.
Yeah.
That's the part that is harder for me, I think. So, but I'll get there, and I have been getting there. I'm also at the moment looking at the hawk flying over.
He-
I'm
Here's the
I,
thing that our hawk here just, as you were saying that, the hawk here just went hawk time.
it is hawk time, evidently. I'm convinced that we've got a pair of them that are mated and bond and living back in the field
Mm,
here because of the frequency that we see them, and it is
yeah.
just all the. So, and I told you about looking out my window, and here's this big giant hawk that had just landed, was getting ready to
Yeah.
be terrible to a chipmunk. And I just said, go away. And it scared it. It freaked it out. It flew off. So, and it went away. I've been watching some documentaries. Haven't really let myself watch a lot of what National Enquiry news kind of stuff.
Oh gosh.
The ones where the pundit has to make a face like they're totally shocked, and
Mm-hmm.
the title of it will say, "This is insane! Breaking news!" It's like,
Right.
nah, I can't. I just can't. I just can't. So I'll just go somewhere boring and hear one calm voice, and that'll be better. Or maybe I'll read from several sources. I've been
Yeah.
listening to Heather Cox Richardson.
Always. She's always good.
She has become more accessible to me because she's doing her stuff, not just the Letter to Americans, that is the written version, but she's going online and talking about it on YouTube. So
Mm-hmm.
and she's fascinating. She knows her stuff.
And she's
She,
got, I think she has a very soothing voice too.
yeah, I think so too. And she's up there in Maine, and I believe that they've been having a little bit of trouble lately, but so has everybody, I think. So, that's it. That's as close as I'm coming to politics. Done.
It's a crazy world, crazy world.
It's a
But
dystopian world.
you know, we're not going to talk about it
Okay.
anyway. So, yeah, we got the equinox coming. The days of balance is what I've been calling them. Because of course, as always, welcome to the pagan community. They're all having pissing contests. Well, I mean, I've came up calling it Mabon. I don't see what's wrong with that. Well, you can't call it Mabon because that's not ancient. Blah blah blah. You have to call it whatever, 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 whatever. I was like, it's like with the divines. I think they don't care what you call them. I think the
Uh-uh.
holidays don't care what you call them as long as you were celebrating them.
The words don't mean as much as what's behind the words. I'd say you're right about that. I'd
But
say you
they,
are.
there's some ego that's got to be kind of whatever stroked. Well,
Um,
but I have the older version because I'm smarter than you.
oh my gosh.
Whatever.
That makes them a better
Yeah.
pagan.
Are you
Sure.
doing it or are you just talking about it? Let's talk about that.
Well, yeah, I spoke to Ilsa last week and she used a term that I hadn't thought of for a while, but I used to use it. Spiritual hygiene. Spiritual
Mm-hmm.
hygiene. Stuff like
Yeah.
that if you practice your spiritual hygiene, then you will not
Mm-hmm.
catch yourself in conversations like those that we were just talking about. But
That's right. And
oh
maybe,
boy.
maybe, uh, maybe check your ego at the damn door.
Is that even possible?
Well, there's people that do it, but
Uh,
they're not shining their big old heinies on social media.
you're right. You're right. So I've been watching basically only documentaries, because that's really all I've wanted to watch. Like David Attenborough voice. Nice soothing voice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I've kind of fallen in love with a falconry group in Britain. I think it's
Oh,
SJ Falconry. And
okay.
they just do the cutest thing because I follow Nicholas Crawford too with his big old ravens. But this fella, it's a whole group of people. It's a falconry school, maybe, I don't know. But
Yeah.
every week there's the naughtiest bird, there's the most improved bird, and there's the bird of the week. And
Oh,
the naughty bird, the naughty bird stole somebody else's food, or I know it's never anything really big and terrible. And then the one who stole the food last week, this week will be the most improved bird. And
oh.
it's hilarious. And they've got the bird right there on their arm talking about it. So you get to see all these wonderful, beautiful raptors. And
Ugh.
I've just been loving that.
Is it different kind of raptors, or is it just one breed, or
It's
is
all
it just
kinds of
breeding?
raptors, all kinds. Yeah. Owls, hawks, falcons, eagles, all of that.
Well, I follow a gal who has one raven who is bonded to her big time.
Uh-huh.
And so it'll jump on her shoulder, and every time it does, I'm shocked at how huge it is.
They
It's like,
really are
wow.
enormous.
Yeah, it's amazing how big they are. And she brought out a bunch of little musical instruments, and she was playing with them, and she'd play, and then she'd let the bird have it if it wanted it. And you could tell the ones it didn't like because it would snatch it out of her hand and throw it on the floor. And then the ones that it liked, it would pick up and it would fly away with, and it would hide it in a corner of the room.
Oh, that's funny.
Hmm? And then she started playing. The last two things she played were dings, because she had been playing percussive stuff and a little bit of tonal, but mostly percussive stuff like, hitting a block of wood and stuff like that. Well, the very last two instruments, one of them was a metal triangle. Ding! Boy, did that get its attention right
Really?
away. Yes, right away. And it almost was like it transfixed the bird for just a second or two. And then the bird hopped up there and grabbed that thing out of her hands and slung it in the floor. And and then she started playing a little bitty accordion. Is that what they're called? With the little do 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 do
A
do.
squeeze box?
No, it's just a flat metal pieces of metal on a flat board, and
A
oh shoot,
xylophone.
xylophone. Thank you. She started playing a little xylophone, and it liked the xylophone. But it played it. It hit it once. It took a little mallet and hit it once. But you realize how smart they are sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
And when you think about the average raven is about the same IQ as a 7-year old. Well, I
Right.
don't know, but that's pretty smart.
It
That's
is.
pretty. It can get complex ideas. It can have morals. It can make plans. It can figure out puzzles. I say it can, but I mean they
They
can.
do. Yeah.
That's and they have a sense of humor, and I
Well,
do believe.
I think I've told you about Nick Crawford's big raven. Ragnar is his name. And he will like Nicholas was out walking with him and he said it's windy today. And Ragnar blew a raspberry,
Oh,
windy. So because wind and fart. So he equates
yes.
those two things. And then and then he said tickle, tickle, tickle. Like, did you get it? I told you a joke. Ha 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 ha. I mean,
That's
it's
funny.
astounding. It's just astounding.
It is if you take the time. I told you what I was. I guess I've told you what I'm getting him for Christmas is one of those button board things, so that he can teach the cat how to talk to him.
Oh my gosh, that's wonderful.
They're going to have so much fun with that. That cat is going to manipulate him even more than he already does. Because that cat can play, Randy. Man, can he ever. Randy
Well,
thinks
he's
that cat can
smart.
do no wrong.
He's a smart cat.
He is a smart cat. I need to find out how he was acting yesterday and the day before. Because
Why?
there have been two earthquakes in around Lake Toxaway and Rosman and Brevard.
Oh, I had not heard that.
Yep, what I heard. For some reason, I'm not all that surprised. I'm really not. And I feel like, well, you know, we don't need to
I
talk
feel
about
like,
it.
yeah, it's an omen. Like the omen of the woolly worms, we're starting to see them. Bad wind.
Yep.
We starting to see the inside of the persimmon seed. Bad wind.
Oh, yes. Now, I haven't
So
seen it with my own eyes, but I have seen the predictions from some fairly reliable sources, I think,
yeah,
about the persimmon. Oh, yeah.
yep.
Every one of them. Every one of them. And that's
So
crazy.
it's time
Yeah.
to, you know, get your house in order.
It's time to stock up and be ready for the tides and seasons to
Yep,
change. That's every message that I have been getting,
yep. Me too.
every port and every omen. And of course, we always talk about the non-existent veil. And it's true. Even even people who don't formally prescribe to that philosophy, or maybe they've never been told about it or don't know about it. Um, Even those people are having things that happen to them this time of year.
Yep, for sure.
I've uh, I've been talking to folks who are not the kind of people who make stuff up to be dramatic, and they'll call me and tell me something, and it won't be. Sometimes it's dramatic, sometimes it's not. It's just sometimes it's I clearly saw somebody walk into the kitchen. Something
Mm,
like that. Not that
yeah,
dramatic, but a big question anyway. And it's just evidence to me. It's just evidence, that's all. Where
yep.
where the where are you going to have the ceremony at for it?
It's going to be Sunday at
Mhm.
3 o'clock at the Hall Creek Park, which is just off Beverly Road.
Okay.
Yeah,
At 3 o'clock. Is this outdoors, I'm
yeah,
assuming?
yep.
Bring your own bread, folks.
That's going to be our last outdoor thing this season because we're coming inside for Samhain. We always do. Now we
Yeah,
always do. We didn't always before, but now we do.
yeah. I wonder where it'll end up being this year. Do you know? Have you got
It's
any
going to be
idea?
at Hall Creek Commons. They've got a big meeting room there. We're going to go there.
For Salon? Okay.
Yeah. I'm going to miss being at my beautiful Cathedral of All Souls.
I know.
But it's not ready yet. But it will be. It will be.
I remember after the hurricane when Salon came around.
Oh,
I barely remember it because it's like a bad dream. I've been trying to forget. All of it was. Salon, though, was profound.
it was so hard.
Profound.
So hard. And we were
Yeah.
in that little bitty place over in West Asheville.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
beautiful place, the well, but it's small for us. We usually have, too many people for that, but this was, yeah, that was beautiful but powerful. There's a lot of stuff running around with us.
Yeah.
But I have
Oh,
to tell
yeah.
you, we've got equinox coming up this weekend, and I was putting together the ritual, and I thought, gosh, well, I don't even remember last year's ritual, but we had well, because we had scheduled the ritual the weekend after Helene hit. So we didn't have a ritual last year. We didn't have power. We didn't have nothing. when we had that ritual scheduled last year. So I pulled up the ritual I'd created, and I just looked at it and I thought, my my God, my God. How did we do that? How did we get through that? Alicia, how did we get through that?
I don't even know.
I still
Between
don't know.
the physical pain and the existential pain, I don't know. And the exhaustion and
Yeah.
the not knowing bothered a lot of people. It didn't bother me as much as you might have thought, but the not knowing how people were. I noticed that they've changed the death totals. The official death totals are now over 200. Claimed over 200 lives is what they say in
Yeah.
their news
Well,
story.
they still ain't telling the truth about that, I don't think.
Oh, they're obviously not. Obviously not. So, and there's things that we're just never going to be able to reconcile, and I have to reconcile to that. There's things I'm never going to be happy with the answer.
No.
I
No.
may not even know the answer,
And
just because I want it.
there's still so many people that are hurting
Yeah.
and who never got what they needed, and or they got, like they needed a gallon of something and they got a tablespoon of it, whether
Oh,
that
yeah.
was funding from FEMA or help from wherever.
Damned by
And
faint praise.
yeah,
Isn't that the
yeah,
saying? Damned by faint praise.
damned with faint praise.
Yeah.
So I just don't. I think next weekend is going to hit me pretty hard. I've been talking about for a few months now that I wanted to do some kind of ceremony, maybe down by the river, just throwing flowers in the river, something like that. But the closer we get to it, the more I'm just not sure I can. And maybe
Mm.
a week from now, it'll be like, well, hell yeah, you got to. What are you waiting for, woman? But right
Mm.
now, I mean, I wouldn't even know what words to say. I might just take a basket full of marigolds because my yard is full of
Mm.
marigolds. I might
Yeah.
just take a basket of marigolds down to the river and just throw them in one by one.
I just, yeah, I mean, I don't know.
And
I've been going back and forth about whether or not I want to join with people for that anniversary or not. I don't know. I don't.
well, I've seen the plans. There's probably 100 different events that are happening. And an awful lot of them are, oh boy, let's bring out the craft beer and tell jokes because, woo. And I
Mm.
just don't think I'm there.
No.
Maybe I will be. I don't know, but I just don't think I'm going to be there.
You were there like in January when we were so crap tired. I mean,
Hallelujah.
I was beyond tired. I don't know. I know you were too. And we weren't even the worst ones off. There was a lot of
No,
people
no.
that would have loved to have been us, you know, but still, it's it was and is always going to be a learning thing for me.
Yeah,
Uh,
and I've yet to really write about it, and I'm hoping after this anniversary that I'm going to be able to finally open the floodgates and write about all of this.
same for music. Selby has written some about it, but I haven't gotten together with anybody and I haven't written anything about it. The floodgates are going to open at some point with me. And I
Yeah.
dread that because it'll make me sick for 2 weeks. I'll have sinus problems.
Oh, yeah.
I'm only halfway kidding because that really will happen. But, you know, part of it for me is I don't want that pain. I don't want to have to relive it. Don't. They say that, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. And I'm like, okay, why should I go back through it again though? That's how I get sometimes. But you know why? I finally figured it out. You go back through it so you can get it out of your damn system. Otherwise, it will follow you around and it'll get
Just keep
power over you.
lingering. Mm-hmm.
Can you hear that airplane?
No.
That's interesting that it didn't. It's a pretty big airplane. It's a biplane.
Oh, how cool is that?
I like it. Yeah. But so there are reasons to do it, but it might be better for me to do it in private, or at the
Well,
beach.
I guess that's what I'm thinking too. And we're not going to be finished with this renovation, or I would just put up an altar and
Yeah.
I'd just say, if y'all want to come and be here, I'm going to be here for 3 hours. If you want to come and cry or talk or have a cup of tea, you can
Yeah.
do that. That might be what I do.
That might be the best thing to do is
Yeah.
here's a safe space to let it come out,
And
you
not
know.
make it a big public thing because there's plenty of big public things if people want that.
Well, true. True. I mean, I always say that the best revenge is living well, but in this case, for some reason, that's not what it feels like. I don't know why, but it's like I don't want to go somewhere and drink champagne and dance the night away. I don't. I just
No.
don't. So I guess I am turning into one of those. And so that's what I'm saying though. There's so much of a disconnect between reality and I mean, how do you claim Christianity and have a belief system like that built on hate? How do you do that? And so if you're
mean,
able to do that, I
I
don't
don't know
know.
how to explain that. And heaven knows my Christian friends are not Christian, whatever they call dominionists.
Nationalist,
They're just not that. They are people who follow Christ.
Christian nationalist.
Yeah, Christian
Yeah.
nationalists. I don't see them following Christ. I don't hear them speaking the words of the Beatitudes out of their mouths. I don't
Nah.
see any of that. I see a whole lot of punitive, hell focused, power mongering. That's what I see. And
And manipulating. Don't forget that.
at what?
Manipulating.
Oh yeah. Well,
That's one of their
Christianity
methods.
Christianity's been manipulating people for 2,000 years.
Yeah.
I
I
said
agree.
it. I said it.
I said it. I'm in it. I'm here to represent it. Yeah. Well, and I'm not going to disagree because you're right about that. I mean, anyway, but it makes me laugh because it's fucking utterly ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's just the stupidest thing ever. I mean,
I just don't get it, and I guess I don't want to get it, or maybe I would
no.
work at it a little harder.
After the tower is the star eventually.
Yeah,
Am I
I mean,
right?
I believe firmly that's where we are. We're transitioning into the star.
And that doesn't mean there's not going to be a lot. Anytime there's change and transitioning, there's loss and pain. I'm not
Yes.
saying, no, I'm not saying it's okay. I never will,
No.
probably.
No, it's
But
not. And I mean, it is just life. Anybody who expects life to be perfect and rosy and no issues and no problems, they they're going to be sadly disappointed. Because the whole
yeah,
purpose of life is to learn and to
right. Just
feel
ask.
and experience.
Yep. Yep. Just ask the AI. I mean, I asked the AI about music and stuff. I think I told you that. I said, how can you write music when you can't hear? And it gave me all the methods that it would use to write music. And it said, do you want me to write you a song? And I
Wow.
think, yeah. And I said, sure. And 10 seconds later, there was a song. I haven't heard it yet. I don't know if I'm going to. I don't know. There's just something about using it for that feels wrong. It's like, I know, and I had this conversation with Selby today about using it for art. It's like I have to justify it to myself why it's okay for me to use it sometimes. And that's because this is how you paint. You don't hold the paintbrush, you tell it how to stroke and what color you want and what kind of lines you want and so on. That's how, but I understand that in theory, but honestly, it doesn't feel right
It
yet.
feels it feels soulless.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't even go that far. Maybe I just don't recognize that, but to me, it just feels slightly uncomfortable. Now, if you look on my Instagram page, which is instagram.com/GTFOI,
Uh-huh.
if you look on that page, basically everything you see is a heavily edited digital photo that I took. And
Mm-hmm.
then I turned it into this purple or whatever I wanted to do with it. Well, I didn't do that with a paintbrush. I didn't. I had tools. I could take my finger and draw on a screen, you see, or I could click a button that would make this color go from purple to blue. And those are digital tools, you could argue, and those are smart tools, maybe. No, they're not really smart tools. But see, so that's kind of the difference, you see. I didn't feel bad when I would produce art that way because that was art. It was me when I framed the shot, when I took the shot, and when I edited the shot. I knew what I wanted it to look like. If I was, but with AI, there's AI in between you and the art, is what it kind of maybe what it feels like. You see,
Okay.
it's a personality, maybe. Because many times I've told it, I like this, take this out, put this in, and it'll take something out, it'll put something in, and then it'll just randomly add some BS. So it's because it's contributing, I guess. I don't know. Even if I tell it not to, it still does it. It just wants to be too involved in what I want. I made the letters WYRD sparkle, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I wanted them to be in the front, the intro for the podcast. So I wanted them to sparkle for 7.07.109 of a seconds. That's how long the intro is, right? And I
Mm-hmm.
can set all of that, and it had every bit of it. And then on the very last, like maybe half a second of the video, it shows it just flipped over to some photograph image of a woman screaming. And it's like,
Oh.
no, what the hell is this? What? I don't even get it. And so I don't know if I want to keep wasting my time on it or not. I see the possibility, but I'm tired of wasting my time. I almost would rather go back to here's a paintbrush, and if it looks sloppy, okay. It's frustrating. It is to do
Well,
that,
and,
and that,
and and see that's a world I don't live in because
aren't you glad?
I don't make my art through the means of computer enhancement or whatever. I
Right,
use pencils and ink and paper and all that stuff.
right.
Several years ago, we wanted to take our neighborhood logo and do something with it, and somebody said, "Who designed that?" And Joe designed it years and years, 25 years ago, I guess. And and the person said, "Well, what kind of file is it, and what software did you use?" And he said, "I used a pencil and then pen and ink on paper. That's what I used." And the person was like, "You did what?" "Yeah, I drew it on paper, penciled it in first and then inked it all in." And they looked at him like he had, produced a dinosaur. It's crazy. And people do that. People ask me that about the Revelator cards. So what program did you use for that?
Your
Prismacolor?
hand. Yeah,
Prismacolor and some Crayola crayons is what I use. Yeah.
you
So
used your
that's
hands.
you are farther ahead of me in that department because I wouldn't even know how to begin to do any of that because I just use a brush or a pencil
It's
or a
well,
pen.
now see, that's what I'm saying though. It felt like using a brush when I was doing heavy edit photography.
Uh-huh.
If because it was my everything from beginning to end. It was mine. However it
Uh-huh.
looked, it was my doing. And my hand to eye coordination is not very good for whatever reasons. And but my mousing capability is pretty damn advanced. So so it was a better choice for me. And so fine, that's fine. I mean, that's is what it is. But the put the AI personality into it, and suddenly it's like, now I don't want to have to fight my program to do what I want it to do. And that's
Mm-hmm.
where I am. And even if I didn't have to, I'm not so sure that it feels okay. Anyway, enough about that subject. I know that's enough. I don't need, I'm obsessing over it, and the rest of the listeners do not have to obsess over it with me. So, and it's too pretty tonight. I'm sitting outside, and it's just beautiful out here tonight. Somebody's
Mm.
mowing the yard in the background. It's a nice American suburban evening.
Yeah, and such
73
a good
degrees.
smell.
It is. It
Joe
is.
Joe mowed the other day, and I was like, oh, the noise. I don't love the noise, but I do love the way it smells.
Yeah. You know, I was tending to the tomato plants the other night, and I smelled them, and I hadn't smelled that smell, that tomato plant smell, for so many years.
I
And it was
love
just
that.
like, oh, I love that smell so much.
Hmm.
And I'd forgotten it. And that was I'm so grateful to have those tomatoes this year. And I hope I can get some good seeds and keep them going.
Well, and I've still got seed from this year, and I'll start that same two varieties next year. So if
I'm
they if they make, you are welcome to some of them.
thank I can say the same. My neighbor, who has now sampled both of them, asked for some seeds for his
Ah,
garden. And I
uh-huh.
said, yes, if I have some seeds, they're yours. You can have some.
Oh,
So
I love
don't you
that. The
know?
thought that those tomatoes would just be going all over the place.
And I wanted to ask you because you might know the answer to this. I'm looking for some oil that is local to our area from growth to production. Do you have any recommendation?
I don't, but if you will check the website for ASAP, the Appalachian Sustainable Agriculture Project,
Ah, okay.
they will probably know. I mean, I would think you could get corn oil because we grow corn, um,
Uh,
and walnut oil, black walnut oil, but that's a deer. It's so expensive. Um, yeah,
okay.
I don't know. That's a really good question.
That's all right.
And of course, there's
I'm
meat oils, so you could get rendered fat from a hog or
and I
I don't,
kind of thought about that, but it gets smelly after
yeah.
a while,
Yeah.
you
Well,
know.
it gets rancid fast. But
Somebody
corn
told
oil
me,
does not.
well, somebody told me there was a place that was producing sunflower oil and
Oh,
a
that
place that
yeah.
was producing hemp oil. And it's like either or corn oil would be fine.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, check ASAP. They'll probably know. And if
okay,
they don't know, they'll know who to ask.
okay, I can do that. Most definitely. And where you when's the next time you're headed out?
Not till October. I'm
Wow.
going up to Columbus, Ohio, to do their
Oh,
witches ball, and I'm their
nice.
keynote speaker. That'll be fun, I
Oh,
think.
wow.
I'll talk about something.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I bet you got a good outfit, don't you?
No, I got to get some clothes. Now, I've lost so much weight that even my clothes that used to at least somehow fit don't fit anymore. And I always
Oh,
wore clothes big because I want to be comfortable. I've got to, dang, I got to go and get me some clothes. I got
you
to get
know,
some
you
pants.
are getting tiny.
I got to get some pants that fit and stay up.
Yeah.
Or else I got to get some pants that got a belt loop. We got belt loops and get me a belt.
Or else, you're
I
just going to have
know.
some pants that fall down every now and then.
And that's not good because you know me, my preference is always going commando. That'd be not good at all.
Commando. Did I ever tell you that story of Edwin? Do you know who mean if I say Edwin McCain?
No.
He's a dude, semi-local, who had
Okay.
some good musical success.
Okay.
Okay, so he wrote "I Could Not Ask for More." He wrote "I'll Be," etc., etc. Anyway, Edwin had come to the Gray Eagle, and he was one of my interviews. Cut to a lot of interviews through the years at the Gray Eagle,
Uh-huh.
and I mean, Edwin was the hot ticket in town. All the little girls were in love with him. He was that Romeo guy, and and, and I was not impressed by that. But I was aware that there were a lot of people who wished that they could be me sitting there talking to him.
uh,
And so for that, I was kind of like, why do I care? I mean, I was kind of observing my own behavior, and I was like, why do I care about this interview? It's no different than any, I mean, I've interviewed some incredible, people. But anyway, at one point, he said, he said something about going commando, and he just looked at me like he dared me to say something. And I was so shocked. I just was like, oh, and then I went on to the next question. And I
next
was
question.
just, how could he just referenced the body not wearing
Yeah.
underwear? I mean, it just, I scrambled my brain for a minute. And that's exactly what he intended too. He thought it was
Uh-huh.
hilarious. He knew how to do it, I can tell you. They know, these musicians, they know, when I've talked to them, they know how to tell a story.
Yeah.
So.
Well, now, okay, I'm gonna go back to what we were talking about just for a minute.
All right.
And
Okay.
it's about talent and then having a tool for enhancing the talent. That's the way I'm gonna put it.
Okay.
So our buddy Brian,
Mm-hmm.
I had no idea that people did this because I'm not in that business. I'm not in the music business. But
Right.
I sent him uh, one of those reels, and it was a woman singing, I don't remember, an aria from some opera,
Right.
and he was astounded. He was like,
Oh.
she would hit those notes true, and then just hold those notes. And I went, well, I mean, that's kind of what opera's all about is getting yourself on stage in a big old costume and bellowing like an ox.
Yeah.
It's
Or
kind of because
tinkling like a
like
bell.
when I record something, then yes, when I record something, then I go back with an engineer. So I straighten out the stuff. When I'm like almost flat, we just straighten that out. I don't have to re-sing it. We just straighten it out in the recording. And I was like, oh, so you couldn't just get up on stage and sing some of that stuff. And he said, well, I wouldn't sing it as good as the recording. And that
Wow.
just, it surprised me on some level. And I think about before they could do that, before you could straighten a note, think about the people who were recording things, and it had to be perfect because there wasn't going to be an engineer that was going to fix it if you screwed it up. You just had to sing it again, I guess, till you got it right.
It's just in the philosophy of the type of music, the genre it is. If it's bluegrass or something, it's too bad, so sad I messed it up.
Yeah.
You know, but if
Yeah.
it's opera, they expect perfection in opera or as close as humanly possible.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
they have that standard, that so many others don't have in their
Well,
genre.
and the training too, because a lot of I guess, and I'm probably not right about this, but a lot of like pop singers, they don't have a lot of training.
I think
They
you're
just
right about
they
that.
just sing. And but I mean, if you were singing opera, you have had years and years of training.
Yep,
It's not
you're
just your
exactly right.
native talent.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, I don't
Nope,
know. It's interesting to me.
it is. It definitely is. I dipped my toe in the formal singing stuff, just little tiny
Uh-huh.
dip,
That's right, you
and
did.
it was enough to change the way that I approach music forever. But it definitely was
Oh,
not for me. The formal
uh-huh.
music training, it was hard. I mean, I was that high school kid who was getting up at 5 in the morning on my damn own to
Yeah.
practice. And I was going into school early to practice, and I was practicing and practicing some more and practicing some more. And, that's pretty much what I did. I altered my
Yeah.
diet so that I didn't eat or drink anything that would coat my throat,
Mm-hmm.
and I did breathing exercises all the time. And I made it a point not to shout. And to this day, I don't like to shout because it messes with my throat.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and so, and when it comes to music, I flogged myself so badly when I first went into what I considered to be casual music. Because when I was a kid, I just would do it. I would mimic. I did a lot of mimic. So,
Mm-hmm.
it's like I did the piano or played this wedding song a lot. And it was that Debbie Boone song, You Light Up My Life. Okay.
Oh,
That
uh-huh.
was,
Yeah,
yeah,
that was very popular.
it was popular. It's really hard to sing. And I would just beat myself up if I made a mistake on it. I would. And then after that, I went into the more classical stuff. And then that kind of stayed with me for a while, even though I privately loved rock and roll. And then
Mm-hmm.
when I got older and I wasn't doing music to perform, to get a paycheck or whatever, uh, when I came back to music in an informal way, it's it was it's always been hard for me to let go. I've always have that tendency to I want every note to be perfect. I don't want to be flat. I don't want to approach it any way but the correct way. I want to say it right, sing it right, and so so I had that's part of the reason that I'm a good harmonist because
Mm-hmm.
I can imitate very well, and I have a good ear, so I can do harmony and imitate the person who's singing the melody. I can get
Oh,
their
okay.
tones and their rhythms and I just watch them super close. And so now it's really not any big deal to be a harmonist. It's really not. You just have to know how to imitate. Uh, Maybe that's an AI
Well,
thing too. That's all they have to do is imitate it.
I guess. I mean, I can do harmony because I'm a second soprano or an alto, depending. And so I can do harmony, but I can't do it as like if you were singing the soprano line, I could not just jump in with a harmony. I'd have to work on it.
Yeah, yeah, I see that. And I mean, it's not. It's. I'm lucky because I don't know why. So I'm just lucky about that.
You got a good
But
ear
I
for
love
that.
doing
That's
it.
all.
Well, I just love doing it. I'll tell you that. I'd love to go to Madison County with you one of these weeknights or weekend nights and go see your gal pals. I bet that'd be so much fun.
Yeah, I think they did that. Did they do it this past one? No, because today's Wednesday. It was last Wednesday.
Yeah. And
They
it's
were
once a
out
month,
there.
isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd love to
I'd
do that.
love to do that.
If you
Oh, you
get
get
some
to see
time, let me
Judy.
know. Yeah.
Yeah.
I bet she's blowing. She's so happy.
She's very happy. I didn't realize that they had moved, but they've moved, I think, down to where you are, down in
Oh,
your neck of the woods. Yeah.
did not know. Well, she is in my neck of the woods anyway, where she
Yeah.
was. That's still,
Yeah.
but yeah. Interesting. Well, I'd still like to see him. So
Yeah.
let's make kind of tentative plans for that. And let's see, let's get caught up on the Weirdland stuff right quick. I think
How are the weirdlings? And you talked to Elsa.
Ilsa seems to be doing pretty good. I think Jay's doing pretty well.
Good.
And how's John doing?
John is, it's slower than he wants it to be, that kind of healing. But
Yeah.
he checks in a couple times a day sometimes and just
Uh
lets us know how he is. He's cut all that beautiful hair off. So he's
yeah.
got really short hair, looks like a little punky boy. And he and his mama took an Uber to she had a doctor's appointment. They took an Uber and
Oh,
he seemed very happy about that. But yeah,
nice.
he's just not healing as fast as he wants to.
Well,
But
he
he's
needs to
being
take
pretty good
his time on
healing.
it.
Yes,
Yeah.
and taking care of himself and his mama's taking care of him and he's taking care of his mama. So
Good.
I think, thank goodness he's okay. Thank goodness.
Yeah.
Because that was a
That
terrible
could have
thing.
gone the other way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think Angie's doing pretty well, and Sonia also seems to be doing pretty well. And
Yeah. I talked to her a
Brit
few days ago.
Brittany had a kind of concerning post about her health.
Yes. Did you send her a note? Because I just said, I'm just checking in with you. And I don't remember what exactly she said.
I think I tried to call her, but I'm going to try again when I get to a place where I can have some, privacy and just talk with her and
Yeah.
see how she's
Yeah.
doing. I want her to be doing okay. I wonder, I wanted to, I just want to see what's going on. But,
Yeah.
but
She
I,
is such a bright light. Such a
yeah,
bright light.
I mean to tell you, she does. And you know what? The rest of them have got so much going on that they probably haven't had any time to check in. But y'all, if you do get some time to check in on the Weirdling page and just how about letting us know how you're doing if you feel like it. We
Yeah. That'd
care,
be good to hear
even though
from
we
her.
sound like we're uncaring, heartless women. We do actually care about y'all, and that's the truth. So if you feel
Of
like
course we
checking
do.
in, yeah, we do.
Last
Anyway.
Well, it takes the time it takes.
Yeah,
And that is, I guess it's one of the gifts of growing older
yeah.
is that we understand you can only push the river so far. But sometimes you got to go with the flow of the river.
You're right. You're right. I'm just glad she's starting to feel better.
Me too.
Yeah.
Because as you know, I'm her biggest fan.
I know it. I know this. I'm aware. I believe it too.
Oh,
And
Mama.
other than that, now you got all my news, I'm happy to say. I
Well, and
I
I ain't got no news either. I think I'm going to go buy me a new pair of shoes tomorrow. Because
oh
all my shoes hurt my feet now. You know me, I'm Princess and Pea feet. That I
uh
had the one pair of shoes, and then I got another pair of shoes. Then the first started hurting my feet. Now the second one's hurting my feet. Now the third one. Now I pulled out a pair of shoes I haven't worn in, I don't know, a couple years. I pulled them out today, and they feel pretty good. So I'll use those, but I might go buy me a new pair of shoes just so my feet don't hurt. Because now my jaw doesn't hurt and my head doesn't hurt.
you
And
know,
now it's time for my feet to not hurt too. So
that's
there.
called self-care.
Isn't
And
it? Isn't that
yeah,
nice?
yeah, it
I
is.
tell you, I wear shoes out faster than anybody I ever saw.
I think you
I don't
do,
know what
yeah.
it is. It's like they feel fine. They feel fine for 6 months, maybe even a year, and then suddenly I can't wear these. They hurt.
They
They
just
hurt
go
my
off
poor
the
little feet.
they go around
Yeah,
the bend and that's it. We're
yeah.
done. All
I go
right.
around the bend.
Well,
Well,
get your new shoes and take some pictures and all of that. And I'm gonna eat leftovers tonight. Me and Mom stopped over at the Pacific Pagoda,
oh,
and
how is that?
it was fine. She got mugu and I got some Philadelphia rolls. and I
Mm.
got some soup. So I'm gonna
Oh,
go finish
yum.
that. Yeah, it
Yeah,
was. I'll
go
tell
eat
you
that.
what now. That wrap the other day, I got 3 meals out of that.
Well, I just got two because I turned it over to Joe. I said,
Oh,
"You got to try this thing. It is so good." He ate the
it
whole thing.
is. I had
Yeah, so
forgotten how
good.
good they were. I remember
Chef
that's what I
kiss.
used to get. And
Yeah.
and I would have ordered it no matter what, but and I ruined those chocolate balls that I got for mom
Oh
because I put
no.
yes, because I put the wrap in the same container. And
Oh.
those chocolate balls, she said they tasted like garlic.
Oh
It's like,
yeah.
well, I know where that would have come from. So
Yeah.
anyway, I tried. Next time, I won't put my
Next
garlicky
time.
wrap in there. There needs to be a next time. I want to go back there. I do.
Yeah, it just made me realize you and I never do stuff like that.
We
Go to
should.
lunch or go out to supper, stuff like that. We need to do more of that.
We can now, and we should.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway,
Well,
I
go
will
eat some
talk.
supper.
Yeah, I will. And you go have you a good evening. Go sit outside. It's gorgeous.
It
It
is
was
gorgeous.
gorgeous. So, all right.
All right.
I'll see you soon. Bye,
Thank you.
y'all.
Thank y'all. Love y'all big. Bye.
Love you. Bye. See ya.
WYRD.